Welcome back to another episode of The People's Commission. I'm your host, Man of the People, joined by, as always,
Evil Commissioner.
the Evil Commissioner. Really happy to be with you guys tonight. Joe and I discussed the potential of doing another podcast, and I think the main reason we wanted to do it was no one really knows where the Pod Boys are at.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
I mean, just one pod.
One
right?
pod preseason. Everybody says it's a weekly podcast. I haven't heard anything.
No, I'm not.
No updates. No updates from the Pod
Radio
Boys.
silence.
I think they were really
Did they both
intimidated.
lose?
They did.
That's probably why.
They did. Tough loss for Bennett, by the way.
Oh,
We'll
brutal
get into
loss,
that,
yeah.
but never fun to put up that
Yeah,
many points
no,
and lose.
it's brutal.
Good matchup with Doug. But we're happy to be with you guys tonight. We're going to address some of the topics that have been going on in the chat, dive into the trades that have happened since we've last been on, and get a little bit of reaction from week one before we take a look forward to week two. So I think before we dive into anything along those lines, Joe, anything you wanted to address from the last podcast? I know there was a pretty heated response from the Pod Boys. I think we've already highlighted some.
We've already claimed our victory on Mike Evans and Amari Cooper.
That was bad.
Rightfully so.
That was tough. That was a tough
Rightfully
look for
so.
Vinny. I felt bad about that one. I didn't
Yeah,
want to go in
I
on
mean,
Vinny too hard, but
It is what it is.
you got to use screenshots when you got
It is what it is.
Show the receipts.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You got to show the receipts.
I think we made it clear why spending twice Amari Cooper's salary on Mike Evans was a little bit of an overspend. Everybody acts like we put Vinny into the ground. We simply highlighted that it was an overspend in the auction, and I think it was validated pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Oh, before we continue, we do have to talk about our presenting sponsors.
Last time it was Dunkin' Donuts. Today it's Pop Daddy Pretzels. Tonight we're snacking on smoked Gouda and garlic Parmesan. Whatever mood you're in, Pop Daddy has a flavor. This is only a couple of them. I've actually sampled yellow mustard as well. They have a dill pickle.
I've had the dill pickle.
Have you?
It's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah, and they have a cinnamon sugar one. Also very good.
Oh, a little dessert pretzel.
Yeah, a little dessert pretzel. For
Good to know. Try Pop Daddies whenever you have the chance. I know for a fact they're featured for you Michigan folks at Yates Cider Mill,
Wow.
right off the Quinder Road. Great spot for some donuts.
Beautiful family place.
Great family place. They got baby goats and shit. Really nice spot. All right, so yeah, I guess if there's nothing else from the last podcast, I mean, we kind of hopped on all that.
Lee got, rightfully so. I mean, we grouped him with Tusk. Lee's roster doesn't even resemble, like Tusk.
Right. Right. I think that would be the only thing I would say is we went in. Everybody knows a bit of it was in jest, right? We were talking about how difficult it is to trade with Tusk, and we made the joke about it being difficult to trade with Lee too because he tries to, make sure he's getting a better end of the deal. Lee has made enough moves now. He's clearly a contender. He's got a really good team, and I mean, good God, we're going to get into the Waller trade later, but Lee's team is stacked.
Yeah, it is. It is
with Waller on top. I mean, holy smokes. But yeah, and I don't think we meant anything from that last pod to say that like they were doing things wrong.
No.
It's just they were hesitant. And you look, so Tusk ends up making that trade for James Robinson, and it ends up being a great trade after ETN goes down. So it just goes to show, like, you got to take shots. One of my biggest gripes with people in the league is that no one wants to trade until they think they're getting a superstar for cheap. It's like you don't get them once you know that, Right. So let's jump right into the hot topics of the week. And I think we start off with the first big high-money free agent of the year.
Yeah, no, I mean, very exciting week one.
It was.
I mean, a lot. 8 teams bid.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I put in a bid of over 40, and I think there's 3 above me.
Yeah, so let's start there because you actually bid on him. So give me your thought process. Mostert goes down. Obviously, we know it's still a bit of a convoluted backfield with Jeff Wilson on IR, JaMychal Hasty in the mix. Like, we don't know what's going on with Trey Sermon. So what's the thought process? Over 40% of your fab on Eli Mitchell, and not even coming close to winning. But what was your thought process?
I see a guy that's on a run-heavy team, great athletic profile, is going to have a job for, I don't know, probably 3-4 weeks. And honestly, I wouldn't play him, but I don't want anyone else to play him.
Sure.
So, I'm in on the bid. I mean, Trey Sermon's in the mix. Hasty, I'm not too worried about. Jeff Wilson, is far out in the future, but I was bidding 40. It's a guy I'm never going to keep. He ran the scheme in college with a really good athletic profile. I was on a website that compared him to McKinnon coming out. So now Bennett's got a new McKinnon
in McKinnon's role.
in
Old
McKinnon's
role.
Yeah, in McKinnon's role. So
Yeah.
just like this guy doesn't quit with McKinnon types.
Yeah.
I mean, will this guy have a job week 8? Who knows?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
The way they use backs there.
Right.
But the next 2-3 weeks, if you can make an impact player, if you can pick somebody up off waivers that makes an impact on the season, I think it's worth it. That's why I want to spend my money.
100%. So to give the other perspective, I kind of mentioned in the chat why I didn't bid, right? Mm-hmm. I think from Bennett's perspective, and teams like Bennett, he's not the only one, but if Bennett would have gone 99 on his fab, I would understand it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a flex starter.
Me too.
He might have the best starting lineup outside of the flex position.
Yeah.
And now he has a legitimate
His flex
starter.
was brutal.
Brutal. He had negative points from the flex last week.
Like you said, if you bid 99, I probably would have been like, okay, I get it.
Right, because now he has someone he can play in
Mm-hmm.
the flex until at least his other situations shake down
Yeah.
with Ronald Jones and whatnot.
I think it's I get why he bid so much.
I do too. I really do. So goodbye by Alex.
Yeah.
Took 60. Solid.
Yeah, a nice buy.
It's exciting. And there will be more, kids. Like, just because you missed out on
Yeah.
Eli Mitchell, this was week 1. So let's get right into like our kind of week 1 overreactions.
Yeah.
There was a lot of interesting performances on both the good and the bad side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start by asking you, and then I'll give some of mine. What is one performance from week 1 that's getting a big reaction that you think is an overreaction and doesn't really tell the story?
I think.
Try to make it fantasy relevant. I think there's others too, but
Are we frozen?
I don't know. I don't know if I stop this,
know,
if I
don't
can do it
click it.
again.
Here, just click that.
What the fuck? It's
Yeah.
not even using internet, so it shouldn't.
It's rolling, but we're not on it.
I know. I don't know what to do.
Should we make 2 videos?
Probably.
Probably.
Damn it, that sucks. I feel like we were rolling.
We were rolling.